Hey, welcome back to the Aftermath Podcast, the only podcast where you're able to grow in knowledge of the Catholic faith alongside two apologists in training. The Aftermath Podcast is brought to you by the grace of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. In this episode, both Christians talk about their recent trips, one that visited family on Nebraska and the other one that went to World Youth Day in Lisbon, Portugal. Please support and engage with us on all platforms where you see us, and feel free to share with your friends. We'll see you next Sunday. God bless. Hunky dory dory, children of the Lord. That was yeah. Dude, these mics are so crispy.
Dude, they're like beautiful.
Truly a blessing to be able to be here.
High-end chocolate goodness. I don't know how to describe.
If you could rate these on like a type of chocolate, like what would you say?
The
like,
ones that come in little squares that like rich people get. I don't know.
Oh, Ghirardelli. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, Ghirardelli. Yeah, the one with the little bird on it.
Yeah, that's what, I think that's Ghirardelli if I'm not mistaken. Hold on, let me double check. Yeah, I was thinking like for Ferrero Rochers.
I was gonna say that one too, but
you get clowned on when people like say it. Dude, I was at TOB and somebody was like, "Christian, say it," and I go Ferrero, and they just threw me because they pitied me.
You sprayed an expensive perfume in the air and you said Ferrero Rocher, and everyone was like, "Okay, bro, relax. It's just chocolate." Number 5. Yeah, like it's an expensive perfume. No, yeah,
I 100% agree.
No, it's tasty. Those are tasty, dude. I like it.
Dude, they're really good.
They like these, and it sucks because they sell them in like the big packages, and I'm like, they're so small, I can just eat all of them.
Yeah,
like,
for real, right?
Self-control. I can't. But I just want it. You know, I can't stop myself.
There we go. That should be a little bit better for us to hear now.
Okay.
Yeah. Here we go. All right.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. No, sorry, audience. We were trying to figure out our little audio situation while also trying to figure out what's going on.
I'll probably cut it out. Who knows?
Yeah,
we'll see.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. It's whatever.
Yeah.
No, actually, in the past episodes, there have been like moments where I filter through them. Like I listen through the entire thing, and then I specifically take bits where I'm just like, either you're rambling or that's false, and so I have to actually cut it, and I cut it and then I smash it all together, and I'm like, that sounds clean. I don't think a single person in our audience besides its Theology of the Body episode can notice when I've done actual cuts,
really?
Like hard cuts, because I've done like fade-ins and fade-outs.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you make it nice and clean and very like you can't notice it.
Yeah, like whenever we take breaks, I go ahead and fade out the audio and then I fade it back in, type of thing. You know, it's
nice.
not that big a deal, but yeah. I've completely forgot where I was going with this. That's whatever.
No, I've done that too. I think it was like the first or second episode. You I think it was me or you that explicitly said we need to cut that, and I was like, okay. So I did, and I don't think anyone notices. It's a really, really well hidden cut. I don't mean to brag.
Just so you guys know, we're not spreading like heresy or anything like that.
No.
When we're initially recording, it's just we say stupid things like, "Oh, hey, by the way, this and this," or it's like,
"Oh, by the way, my credit card number is 135," and they're like, "Okay, you know what? We should probably cut that. I don't want people knowing."
Somebody's gonna listen to that and they're gonna be like, "I found Christian's credit card number," and then it's gonna be like a full like fledged like 16-digit card number, and Christian's gonna be like, "Oh, but you don't know the security code," and then like 5 seconds later, like found it.
Done.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just bought a gazebo with your freaking credit card.
Just bought a gazebo.
Why not?
It's like, thanks Aftermath Podcast for giving me my first Lambo. Truly a blessing you guys have given me.
Aww.
God bless y'all. And it's just like, I never gave you permission.
Give me my card, guys. I'm canceling everything. This is ridiculous. I can't afford any of this. I'm in debt.
Dude, okay. So, World Youth Day.
Oh man!
How
right off
was
the
it?
bat. Okay.
How was it? Yeah, dude. Because I said, actually, can I go first? Because yours is gonna be so much better than mine.
Not even that. Just shut up. No, I want to hear yours first because, dude, you said Nebraska or Alaska? Right?
I went to Nebraska.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, even my parents were messing it up. They're just like, they were just like, have fun in Alaska, and I was like, I'm going to Nebraska, and they're just like, okay. Yeah, dude. Honestly, such a fun like experience, and just overall, just like. I can't even put into words like some of the moments that I had over there just left me speechless, like legit, both in good and bad ways. But we're so there's this cathedral out there, the Cathedral of Saint Cecilia.
Oh, nice.
Dude, I was showing you photos yesterday. It was built back in the 1700s, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
I've never walked into a church and just felt just God's presence so there, like, dude. It's beautiful. I walked in and my mouth literally dropped, like involuntarily just dropped, and I was just like, this is amazing. You walk in already, there's just like the crucifix itself is made out of like, I want to say either brass or gold plated, like it's just beautiful. And then there's 9 lambs on top of this kind of, I don't know, people who look it up will understand, but he's in like this sort of like altar looking kind of area.
Mm-hmm.
that's white, and I think it's made of marble or some sort of plaster or something like that. And there's 9 lambs that's carved into that altar area. And so I asked the guy who was actually giving us a tour there, and he's like, "Oh, it represents the 9 choirs of angels." And I'm like, "That makes sense." But it was so reverberant there that you drop a pew just a little bit too hard and it stays there for a good amount of time.
Just the reverb, like.
Yeah, it was insane. I was like, dude, anybody who holds like a Gregorian chant here is going to love it, dude. Oh man, I wouldn't be surprised if like you were seeing a Gregorian chant there, and then literally like choirs of angels came down to sing with y'all. Like it was insane. And then there were these bands that stretched across the ceiling, like in an arch.
Oh, okay.
And each band at the center of it, like at the direct peak of it, actually had a picture of the Holy Spirit right there. Yo. And I was like, that's beautiful. And then spanning across the sides of it towards the upper part where the band started were actually these like I forgot what they're called. There's like crests, you know, like those shield crests that like.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Yeah. So they put every single one of those for every major historical event within church history. So they actually have one of the Second Vatican Council, and they actually made it there when the Second Vatican Council happened. I'm like, that's sick. And then they also had stuff when like the church was built, like all these different types of things. And I'm like, this is beautiful. And then the stained glass there was imported from, it was either Italy or Spain. And it was just beautiful. Like it was oh my gosh, I can't even put into words. I have pictures. Those pictures don't do it justice.
No,
like
dude,
I've never been able to, my camera like records in like this, my camera can record up to 8K, like 8K video.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
8K's okay, yeah.
Yeah, 8K is beautiful, right?
Right,
Like
yeah.
most people will take 4K, and I was recording in 8K, bro. The video, I kid you not, didn't even do it justice. It made it look cheap. Dude, you walk in, it's just another experience. Like the camera can't even reflect it, and I've never been able to say that until now. And I'm like, that's beautiful. The confessionals, dude, so antique. Like it's just I can't even imagine like how many just people have gone in and gone, like how many souls have been saved in that confessional. And it's one of those old school confessionals where like instead of like the ones at our parish where you have to like come in, you have like either a bench or like a kneel thing.
Right.
That one you straight, like it's like side to side instead of face to face, like we have in our parish.
Yeah. So it's the one with 3 doors.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Dude, those look really nice. Like the ones made out of wood and everything.
Yeah. They were made out of that.
Oh, sick.
Dude, it was so sick. And then on the back of the altar area, was actually the 12 apostles carved into wood. There was a specific person who actually carved every single statue in that church.
Really?
Yeah, a specific person. I think he carved it in like the 1970s or like the 1700s, something like that. I can't even remember. But if you actually go to all the statues, he actually has his name engraved in every single one of them at the base. It's insane.
That's awesome.
He did one of Our Lady. He did one of Saint Augustine. He did one of all the apostles. Like it was. Dude, I can't even. It's
one guy.
There was so many things in there that was just breathtaking, and oh my gosh, I can't even put into words. Like, hold on, let me see if I can pull up like a picture, like a video or something like that. But oh my gosh, it was just such a beautiful thing. Like, I was actually showing you some of the stuff yesterday. Like, let me see this. Like, this is the picture right here.
Oh, man,
dude,
that looks
beautiful. Yeah, so you
saw those are the wooden carvings right there.
Yeah, so like there were some wood carvings, but even then there was some on like off to the side and stuff like that of Our Lady, of Saint Anne. I think like the main stained glass there spans like 25 feet or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, like from side to side, it was just beautiful. And then the organ there, I believe, had like 50,000 pipes.
I still can't believe that, dude.
Yeah.
50,000 pipes.
Like, if I'm not mistaken, 50,000 pipes. And from what I heard from the guy, it took them they had to stop construction of the entire cathedral for 3 years. So that way like all the workers could focus on laying in those pipes like perfectly. And I'm like, dang, that's amazing.
The amount of work that goes into just the organ alone is just like insane. 3 years, dude.
Yeah. But I mean, that was pretty cool. Like I really like the St. Cecilia Cathedral. I went to a botanical garden before that. Never been to a botanical garden before, but let me tell you, in Nebraska, they thrive. I was not.
Like, nah.
A thing to know about Nebraska is it's extremely humid.
Oh.
Like it's not even funny. Kind of here where we live, it gets to like maybe like 35 40 at most. At the most, right?
Yeah,
over there, the average was about 80 to 95% humidity.
Oh, so as soon as you stepped outside, you're sticky.
Yeah, as soon as you walk outside, I kid you not, it maybe like a 25-foot walk to the car. I got to the car and I was already starting to sweat.
Oh,
and the AC was going inside the car and I felt like I was starting to sweat. And I was just like, I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't deal well with humidity. I have an abnormally high body heat. So just like being in that area was just so... It was raining in summer.
Oh, no.
It was just a beautiful landscape, but I just despised like the weather. If the weather was like just a dry kind of heat, beautiful. Like, yeah,
That's
we're chilling. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Cornfields, massive. Just spanned for miles. It was insane. Like, just so much corn. I was actually being told that the reason why it was so humid there was because there was so much corn, and corn is so water heavy. So they need to constantly be watering them, and that's why the Nebraska is so like just humid. And
just
I was just
that
like,
corn, they keep it nice and like watered down, and it affects the air.
Yeah,
that's insane,
pretty much. Exercising is also another fun thing there. You can't like feasibly exercise, like for more than a couple hours without feeling like you can't breathe. I went on a 2-mile run a couple times out there, and I at one point I was just I like I was fighting for my life, and I was it was bad, but just a beautiful landscape overall. Like it was like, if I saw a picture, like I showed some people here, like let me show you a picture of like one of
I imagine it being like one of the most greenest places. Like
it was extremely green. Like I came back to Madera and I'm like, where's all the color?
Like why is everything yellow?
Like this was on like one of my warning runs right here on like a path. Beautiful. Yeah, right. But it was just in.
But like, just being in the picture, not so beautiful. You're like, just the atmosphere and everything.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like just exercising over there. I mean, it was dope. It was cool. Don't get me wrong. I went to an Air Force base and it was pretty cool.
Yo.
Yeah. They actually had like an entire aircraft hangar that was just like gutted and repurposed to be an entire gym. So there was a track that spanned around the entire thing, and inside of that track there was everything from free weights to machine weights to there was tennis courts, there was a ultimate frisbee / soccer field there was CrossFit, there was boxing stuff, there was a whole playground where the kids could play and exercise equipment around that, so the parents could watch them as they exercise. And there was actually a pool there as well.
A pool?
Yeah, there was a whole pool in there. And then the locker room had a sauna. I didn't go, thank God, because I don't like humidity, like I said.
Yeah, you already had enough of that.
But it just spanned like a crazy amount, and I was like, this is insane. They don't have ventilation there. It's just fans that they just connected, and so they don't actually have like AC. Right. So they crack open the doors, they turn on the fans, and they're like, good luck. And I'm like, all right, Michelle, here we
Thanks,
go.
Man. Like,
but I mean, it's cool because I felt like I got more of a workout because I would leave the gym and my shirt would be like soaked. Yeah, it was way more than we ever did in our workouts.
Oh man.
Like it was just like I was drenched. It was bad. But I mean, overall it was cool.
Yeah.
Let me see. Mass. My goodness. Okay, so the previous episode I mentioned that I was excited to see what other parishes were like. I'm not excited anymore.
Really?
No,
what?
Dude.
No.
It was one of the most like. It wasn't irreverent to say. It was a little irreverent if I have to be honest.
Okay, what happened? Like,
it was just it's completely different from the mass that we have here. At our parish, because our parish is usually like everybody kind of pulls up in like their Sunday best, really. You know what I mean? Like they got polos, they have like suits and ties.
Yeah.
Women show up in like their like dresses or things like that, right?
Right.
This one guy showed up in a sports jersey. This other lady showed up in a bell-bottom pant type of thing with the hippie flower print on it. And she was actually a lector. Another thing as well,
Whoa.
They don't have like the whole white robe
the
thing.
Elves?
Like, yeah,
they don't have those.
They don't have those.
Did you just go up there in the casuals?
Yeah, they just go up there in their casuals, and they're sitting in the congregation. So they get out of the pew, they walk up there, they read, and they go back, and they're just like, haha. And I'm like,
okay.
Yeah. Choir over there was fire. It was just so much emphasis on the choir. It felt like there was like you know how like there are like intermissions in like musicals.
Yeah.
It felt like that.
Oh wow.
It felt like that, like like the whole holy 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 thing. Yeah. It felt like that because there was the chorus. And then they would repeat it, and then they would repeat it, and then they would go to the next verse, and then they would repeat the chorus, and again and again and again.
Oh wow.
So I was just like,
This is lasting a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are some things that I enjoyed there and some things I didn't. One of the things that I did really like from that parish, though, was that they do a kids collection. So what they do is the parents actually give their kids money, and the kids actually go up to offer it. Or like to put it in a little,
So you had like little Jimmy on like a $1 bill, and they're like,
yeah, and Jimmy like runs up there and stuff like that. So like often like like sisters and brothers would be like running up there like holding hands, and you put $1 and they run back, and I'm like, that's adorable, that's super cute.
That is adorable.
This one kid walked up with like a whole jar of change, just dropped it in the basket, and I'm like, that kid's going to heaven.
Dude, he's saving up his allowance just to give it to the Lord. Dude,
it was beautiful. Let me see. The priest actually during his homily, typically the priest never like goes away from the pulpit during the whole. It's called the pulpit, right?
The podium thing, or
the podium little thing. I think it's called the pulpit, right? I don't know what it's called.
I'm not too sure about the vocabulary. I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. So basically, what was happening is that during that time, what he actually did was he took a like pamphlet looking big. It was like this big kind of poster thing that was wrapped in a frame, and then he walked away from like the little podium thing because of course he was mic'd up. So he walked away, and then he started walking amongst the congregation, showing like the pamphlet thing as he was talking his homily, and I'm like, okay. I don't know. Are you allowed to do that? I guess. Like, okay.
Like, you really want to get up and personal? Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's interesting.
It was definitely a little odd. I will say that.
Threw you off guard, like, okay, this is what I'm used to.
This is new. Yeah, because he pulled it out from like under the podium thing, and then he just started holding it to his side as he was kind of like preaching to the congregation. I was like, okay.
And what did it say? Like, did it have like a big word on there? Like,
it was
the image.
Man, the gospel reading was on how a sower went out to sow. And some seeds fell on rocky ground, and couldn't grow and things like that. So he was like, how are we what was he saying? Like, what kind of soil are we planting ourselves in? What kind of soil are we surrounding ourselves in? Is it soil that we will grow and then the thorns will choke us? Is it the rocky soil, or is it the gravel on the ground? Is it actual rich soil? And he was like, are we surrounding ourselves with the right crowd? And that's what he was basically trying to say.
Yeah.
That was his homily. It was overall a good homily. It just threw me off because I was just like, you can say this from the little podium thing. Like, just go right there.
Yeah.
Dude, I was there because I went with my girlfriend. We went to go visit her family, and so I was sitting there, and she could tell that I was like really like irritated that people were going up there in like sports jerseys and like flower prints and acting as if like church was a social club type of thing. And it was like, oh hey, let's go ahead and do that. It's like, no.
Like, there's reverence to this.
Dude. Like, there was a lack of reverence, and so it really was irritating me. So I was like, at a point, I was ready to go up there and just like push the person off and just be like, "Look at yourselves." And I was like, I was about to be like, "Look at yourselves." Do you think that, like, I was about to go off on these people?
New homily right now.
Yeah, so my girlfriend, she just tapped my hand. She's like, it's okay. She was like, it'll be okay. And I was just like, and she goes, I know, because she was the only one in the mass who was actually wearing a veil, and people were giving her weird looks for it. No. And so it's just like it's whatever. If you don't see a veil, don't worry about it. Like, you can give a weird. I don't like. If you want to give a weird look, that's your choice. Type of thing. It's just like, don't make it obvious. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, just keep it to yourself. Don't
keep it to yourself. And so that was like something that I was like really bothering me, because I'm just like, bro, like, some of these people had like because like Nebraska's team is they have like a football team there, so their whole slogan is "Go Big Red." So one of the people literally had a big like polo that just said "Go Big Red," and he was a communion minister. He was a communion. He was giving out communion.
Right. Eucharistic minister.
Yeah, he was a Eucharistic minister. That's what it's called. My bad.
Yeah, no, you're good. I was thinking about it.
I was just like, oh my gosh, please. I was like, kick him off. Put somebody in a suit there. It was, I don't know. When it really bothered me because it felt like the meaning of your Sunday best was diminished, And I can't say that for all Midwestern like parishes and stuff like that. It was just really bothersome to me. One more thing, and the thing that probably bothered me the most is the fact that the tabernacle was off to the side.
It was not centered?
It was not centered in the church. It was built off to the side in the chapel. It reminds me of St. Anthony of Padua Parish.
It's
that same thing. It's off to the side.
I've seen a lot of churches with something similar. Like, it's I don't know. I figured it would be like a regulation kind of thing. Like, okay, guys, rule number one: Jesus is in the middle, and I figure, because it's centered towards him. You know,
Yeah,
it makes sense.
It's all for him, right?
It's all for him.
Yeah.
And then like to see him like in the side, I'm just like, it just you
Yeah.
know, you get that little like feeling like, okay, something's not right.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
But apparently, no, it's not regulation. You can pretty much put them anywhere in the front.
And in our parish, it's centered.
It's
Like it's in the
dead
direct,
center.
like directly. If you track it directly from the door all the way to the center, it hits the tabernacle.
Yeah.
Here you walk in, and it's off to the side, like attached to the chapel, sort of like how St. Anthony's is. And so that really bothered me. I'm just like, this is a bothersome thing. I don't like this. But
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that either.
I really do feel like all churches should have tabernacles directly in the center. If it's not, you need to do a major remodel in your church.
You need to like start putting up the stucco. And,
It's like, how are you gonna have like 10,000, probably like $20,000 worth of sound equipment? They had a whole grand piano in the church, but yeah, the tabernacle was off to the side. Tell me how that makes sense. Make sense. I don't know. Anyways, I digress. Anyway,
and doesn't that affect like the mass as well? Because like for us, they go to the tabernacle. They pull out the Eucharist that was like left over from the previous mass, right? Or am I even thinking about it right? Tabernacle is where they keep
where they keep the host. Yeah,
right, exactly. So during mass, do they like get it pre-gotten?
Do they have the
Do they have to walk all across the church?
They have to walk. They have to walk to the tabernacle, open it. By the way, it's not locked. They have the key in there.
Hanging
they don't
off the
have
lock?
it locked. They have the key just sticked in there, and they're just like, "Oh, hey, turn the key and you can get it." And I'm just like,
anyone can just walk up there.
Yeah, anybody can just walk up and steal it. And I'm just like, "Yo, do y'all not know that there's an enemy out in this world? Like, come on." It was so bothersome to me.
You know how keys work, right? You're not supposed to keep them.
You're not supposed to keep it in the lock, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. It was just so annoying. So not even the priest went to go up and get it. The altar servers went to go up and get it. So the altar servers went up to the tabernacle, picked it up, walked over to the priest, and then got it. And then I can't even remember what else happened. It was such like a rush. Like I blinked and then it all happened, and I was just like, I have no idea. I know that all of this was wrong. I have no idea how it transpired completely, but it was just so bothersome. I couldn't even. It was so weird. I can't even describe it into words. You're
just like, I don't know what to tell you guys. Like,
it was bad. They didn't even have a proper crucifix. They had a metal sculpture, like a flat metal. Like it was like a sheet of metal that was like pressed and like punched in certain ways to make it look like Jesus was there. Ooh, it wasn't an actual like modeled kind, because you know how like ours is like an
3D
actual 3D
sculpt.
Like, it was like a 3D sculpted thing. This is kind of like it was like a 2D 3D kind of mix type of thing. So it was like flat on the back, and then on the front it was like slightly popped out to actually show like Christ on the crucifix.
Do you have a picture of this?
I don't, and it's really bothersome. I'll show you. Hold on.
We can probably look up the name of the church, and there might be like on the front of their Facebook page or something. I don't know.
Oh,
like,
dude, 100%.
That looks. I mean, like,
I don't want to put them on blast because I don't want them to get hate. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't want you to do that either. But I'm just really curious because like you're just like it's 2D and 3D at the same time. I'm just like, wait, what?
Yeah, right. Let me see. This is Nebraska.
The nice state of Nebraska.
Dude, yeah, man, that was definitely interesting to see. Never experienced a mass in another church before besides St. Anthony of Padua and this one. This is what it looked like. Hold on. Here we go. Right, that's what it looked like. It's a little interesting, right? Okay. Like it's a little like it's not even like a metal.
So it's
sculpture.
all sheet wood, kind of like if you were to. I don't even want to say it because it sounds horrible.
It's so interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, I've never seen anything like this. It looks interesting.
Yeah. From the pictures, it looks reverent. However, when you walk in, the whole church looks very irreverent. It looks like a hall was then remodeled to look like a Catholic church.
Oh,
like it's okay. Yeah, it's definitely really interesting. I don't know, but anyways, I digress from that.
Enough about the critiques.
Yeah, that critique.
How was the family?
Oh, dude, family. Oh, great, dude. Like, honestly, really fun. I went to an NF concert with them.
Yes.
That was sick. That was so sick, dude. Okay, hold on. I have a video of me actually reacting. So, for those of you who don't know, NF is a Christian rapper. So, I actually went to one of his concerts out in Nebraska because he had one in Lincoln. But here, let me see. Here we go.
They should have gotten him for...
Dude,
you were hyped. Oh,
I was so hyped because I've never been to a concert. This is the first ever concert that I've been to before. Dude. Yeah. So I was like, I don't even know what to expect. And so he had those lights on because I sent you a picture actually the night that I went.
Yeah.
So he had those lights on for like a couple minutes. Well, not even a couple minutes, like a half hour. And we were just all standing there. And then at one point, like everybody just started sitting down, and people actually started booing because they were just like, "Get on stage, do it,
hurry up."
Yeah. So I was just like, "Oh, come on, dude!" Like, And so I really didn't know what to expect. And so, it was like, oh, he'll start at 9. Like he'll start at 9 because it was 8:30 when it stopped, and then he kept going and kept going. Mm-hmm. So we were like, it's gonna start at 9, and so 9 hits, and then we all just started recording. I'm like, there's no way he's gonna make it, because I cut it a little bit because it was like a 5-minute video, and I was like, there's no way he's gonna make us longer. There's no way that's gonna make us. They're like, the people here are gonna make us like wait longer. Yeah. And the lights dim, and I was like, yeah, baby, yeah. I will say this about NF: he's a really good stage performer.
Yeah,
I've noticed that. I noticed that about him. A lot of people. There was a guy. His name is Corday. Corday was he collabed with NF on one of his songs, but he was I forgot what it's called, like a pre-show, I guess. I don't even know what it's called. He was on before NF, and so he was just like he was a good stage performer too. Mm-hmm. But NF just gave this sort of like, are y'all like, you guys aren't ready for this? Like he gave like that kind of like that kind of thing going on, and so. At one point, actually, in the video, I zoomed in on the drummer, and I was like, "There he is! There's NF!" And then I was like, "Wait, why is he on the drum set? NF doesn't play drums."
You goof.
Yeah, I was like, "What?" And then the beat drop happened. Oh. And then he popped up from the center of this because the platform actually raised up, and I was like, "Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! It's him! It's NF! Wow!" And so. Dude,
people next year like, okay, we get it, dude. We know.
Dude, everybody was screaming and yelling and stuff like that. Yeah, dude. There was people there who were like, who were just screaming and yelling and just like all this type of stuff. And I'm like, I'm not the only one.
Like, I'm not alone.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a really good state. He pulled up oldies he pulled up like old classic songs. So like Let You Down, When I Grow Up, like those kind of like old classics that are like really big hits for him. Mm-hmm. And then he was like, all right, this is the last song we're performing tonight. I want to thank y'all for like coming and stuff like that.
Oh man.
what really bothered me was kind of funny. He goes, where were we at, Nebraska? And everybody was just like, yeah. And then he was like, hey man, don't be pissed. He was like, I'm just here. I can't even remember what he said. He was like, I think it's better that I got it right the first time than for me to be like, what do you say? For me to be like, Washington, how we feeling tonight? And then everybody would have just like started yelling.
Like, Nebraska, come on, man.
Yeah, and so it's funny because Cordy was just like, Nebraska, how we feeling tonight? Yeah, and everybody was just like, yeah. Overall, the show was really great, and then he performed the last song, and everybody just started leaving, and I was like, the stage is so dark, and I was like, I'm not leaving until all the lights come on.
Right.
And so all of a sudden, by far, like the most hype part of the concert, in my opinion, he started playing Clouds from his old tour. Mm-hmm. He started rapping that one, like he was performing that one, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I was like, this is my jam. And so I went hard. The entire night my vocals were pretty much like fine. Oh yeah. But that song specifically, I was like screaming the lyrics the entire time. Man. By the time I left, my vocal cords like were fried.
Your voice was done.
Yeah, my voice was just gone. And so I'm like, you know what, worth it. Honestly, 100% worth. Yeah, dude. NF merch is really expensive at concerts. A single hoodie was $75.
Dude, get out of here. Yeah. $75 for a hoodie?
Yeah, for like a pullover hoodie was $75, and I was like, dang. Dude, and there was a line that stretched, so it wasn't like it was like people were like, it's too expensive. No, people were going for it.
They're still gonna buy it, of course. Like,
yeah, dude.
There's people like that. You know, they'll still buy it, and then they mark it up on eBay.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Say it themselves, say NF did it. You know.
Yeah, dude. Honestly. He was like honestly a really good stage performer. Like 100%. I would 100% go to one of his concerts again. Just makes me want to go to a concert again in general.
Because the vibe of a concert is just amazing, dude. Like it's like everyone's there for the same thing.
Yeah.
And
you can all yell the same song and nobody just like nobody cares.
Nobody cares, and it's just so loud and it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's a great vibe.
It was really good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude. But back to the family. Yeah, dude. The family, awesome. Just incredible, amazing. Just really cool people. I can't even like. It was just so great to finally like meet her family, just be able to interact with them all. It was a really humbling experience as well, because I was like, I don't know about humbling, but it was a very like open your eyes kind of moment, because I was just like, I always thought of her extended family as a certain way, not in a bad way per se.
No, yeah.
but in a way of just like I don't know how to interact with them.
Right.
And then interacting with them for these 2 weeks, I was just like, oh man, like there's so much like me, you know, like I can be me around them, you know, because when they would come over, just be like, hey, how are you? You know, but actually interacting with them, I was like, I can be myself around these people. Like this is really cool. So overall, just a really cool trip. I was so glad to get back to California though. Because let me tell you, flights are not my thing. I'll be on them, but they are not my thing, especially like smaller commercial flights because there's so much turbulence.
Oh, dude, the worst.
Yeah, dude, it was to the point where like we got such bad turbulence that actually one of the flight attendants was trying to fix my seat, was trying to fix like my belt, and we hit a fat amount of turbulence. Homeboy went up.
No.
Yeah, and he was big boy. Like he was
big boy. He went flying.
Yeah, he was big boy, and homeboy just was like, ooh,
can we get much higher?
Yeah, pretty much. It was like a straight up da 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 da. Yeah. So he kind of was in the air for a little bit, and then he like finally landed. He was like, "I'm gonna go sit down." And I was like, "Yeah, you do that, bro. I'm gonna go ahead and fix this right
tie
here."
up, you know.
Yeah, like don't worry about it.
Buckle up.
Yeah. But yeah, dude. Overall, just a really cool experience. I've been going on a really long time about a 2-week trip, but tell me about World Youth Day, bro.
It's the same amount of time. It was just 2 weeks as well, so you're good.
Yeah.
Oh man, how much time do we have? No, we got plenty of time.
We got plenty of time.
Okay. Yeah. So World Youth Day. For those of you guys who don't know, a little debrief on what World Youth Day is. It's a day where Catholics from all over the world. I believe they actually got the numbers. Every country but one was there.
Really?
Every country but one. I forgot what country that was. It started with an M, I believe. But yeah, every country but one was there.
Jeez.
I was like, dude, this is gonna be huge.
That's sick.
I believe the total count was like 1.4 million.
What?
Yeah. So it was a lot of people in Portugal. It was insane.
That's insane.
No,
dude.
yeah. And going off the flights, dude, the flight from... So our first flight was from San Francisco to Frankfurt, Germany.
You went to Germany?
I went to Germany, bro. I went to Germany. I was like, yo, I forgot we're going to Germany, but we weren't going to get out of the airport or anything. It was just like a layover flight. So from Germany, we'd be going to Portugal. But we were still in Germany. It was a 10-hour flight. It was me right next to Moses, right next to another guy. And
nice.
we didn't talk to him at all. We're like, nah.
It's whatever.
So it was just him and me. And we're like, dude, we're airplane buddies. Let's go. Yeah. And dude, 10-hour flight. My first 10-hour flight I've ever been on.
Really?
I've never been on anything longer than like, I don't know, like under 5 hours for sure.
Really?
So I was like, yo, I'm in for a ride. Let's go.
Yeah.
I did not know that if the flight is more than like 5 or 6 hours, you get fed.
Oh yeah. I didn't know
that either. I was like, okay. It was weird because I was just like, they're like passing out like cookies and like water cups and like, okay, this is what I'm used to.
Yeah.
Like, you know, on my Volaris flights to Mexico, this is what I get. This is normal.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I fell asleep. I woke up and I hear like a lady like walking down the aisle with like the little pushing cart. I was like, what's that? And then she's going to people asking him, do you want the chicken or the pasta? And I'm like, huh? Wait, what?
Chicken?
What? And then she comes up to us and she's like, oh yeah, do you want the chicken or the pasta? And I'm like, I'll get the chicken, please.
Nice.
No. What am I saying? I'll get the pasta.
Oh, okay.
I asked for the pasta. I was like, okay, yeah, I want the pasta, you know?
Gotcha.
And it was a nice hot pasta, dude. It had a coffee cake. It had this weird salad. We don't know what it was. We all unanimously said, this is kind of gross. We don't like this. I ate it because I ate it first. So I can wash it down with everything later.
Yeah.
I need as much food as I can get.
Yeah, bro. Worst for first.
Exactly. So worst for first. Exactly. And then we got like, they had like soda. So I got soda. Why not?
Nice.
And then I want to say they gave us like a sweet little other dessert, but I can't remember. Oh, they gave us bread with butter.
Oh, nice.
So I took a picture and I was like, I'm gonna post this because this is the first time I'm getting fed actual food on an airplane.
What'd you fly?
We flied. What was it?
United, Southwest.
Something I've never heard of before. It started with an F, and I was like,
interesting. Okay.
I trust World Youth Day planners.
I trust you, God.
I trust you, God. Please just bless this flight. And it was all so good. And the service there was amazing. Like the people, the flight attendants, they were on it.
That's awesome, dude.
I was asking like, hey, sir, I'm sorry to bother you. And if the answer is no, it's fine. Can I get another coffee cake? And he was like, oh, you want another one of those? I'm like, yes, please. Like, all right, I'll be right back.
Nice.
When he left, I think it was Rebecca from like some seats across was like, oh, I don't want mine. Do you want mine? I was like, oh, yes.
More
so
coffee cake, baby.
I got hers. And then the guy came back with 2 coffee cakes.
Oh,
and I was like,
what a goated man.
I was like, okay, I'll get this one. And he was like, no, take both. I was like, I thought you were just like give me like a choice. I don't know. I thought you were just giving me a choice. Like, no, they're both for you. So
That's
I had
beautiful.
3 extra coffee cakes. And I was having the time of my life.
Dude.
I feel like people noticed though, because this guy like in the corner of my eye, I saw him like looking at me and like talk to his friend and like, get a look at this guy over here. I was like, I don't care, man. I'm having coffee cake.
I'm going to work your day.
I'm gonna work your day. I don't care if it can kill my mood. And then so that was awesome. 10 minutes before we were landing after the 10-hour flight, me and Moses started talking to the guy next to us. It was a really good combo. His name was Luca. He was going to visit his mom in Germany.
That's so sick.
He was teaching us like things about Germany, and we were like, "Oh yeah, what do you guys like eat here?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, we eat this, and that." People find it weird, and we're like, "Oh, we eat tripas, we eat lengua, we eat cabeza." He's like, "You guys are monsters, man." I'm like, "No,
You guys eat all of the cow?
He eats like the whole cow. What else? The stomach?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's menudo." He's like, "What?" He was like flipping out. He's like, "Yeah, no, we don't do that here."
That's so sick.
And they were like, "Don't you guys eat that part of the bull that?" And he's like, "We don't talk about that." I was like, no, let's talk about it. He's like, "No, you guys, yeah, fine, you guys win." And we're just having a good combo. Like he was talking about, like, "Oh yeah, I'm just visiting, and then I go back to California when school starts." I'm like, "Oh, that's awesome, dude." We were just having a really good combo. It sucked that it was the last 10 minutes though.
We find out that he goes to Fresno State. Like he lives in Germany, and then he like goes to the U.S. and he's like, "Ah, yes, education," and then he goes to Fresno State.
Yeah. No, he most definitely probably goes to like UOP or Sac State or something.
Oh, 100%.
Like, he has to. Like, please, dude, just do it. Do it for the culture. Yeah. So we landed in Germany.
Got you.
We did some gift shopping. I bought like a cool magnet from Frankfurt because I like to like. Oh no, it wasn't a magnet. It was a keychain.
Yeah.
I collect keychains from different places I go.
Yeah.
It's what I do.
Was it okay? Hold on. Well, no, we'll get to that. Go ahead. Keep going. I just want to hear the story of how you got to my souvenir because we'll
okay.
Yeah.
So then we got to our flight to Portugal.
Yeah.
After that, we were like, okay, cool. Like now we're gonna be like in Portugal. Nope. We took a bus ride, 7 hours to Spain.
Oh wow.
So we're like, wait a sec, and like they're like, no worries, we'll get to Spain and we'll get to our place to stay. So we did a 7-hour bus ride. We took some few breaks because the bus needs gas, and we a lot of us were like kind of like, oh wait, I don't have euros yet. And we're like, bro, what are you thinking? But luckily for me, I had some euros, so I was like,
nice.
'cause my parents went to Italy. This year, and they had leftover euros. So
that's so sick.
I know, right? I had like a little.
So does euros also cover like Germany as well, or?
Yes,
Oh,
Germany
wow.
had euros. Spain and Portugal all had euros.
Oh, so it's just like a cool currency.
It's just a cool currency you can get like across like.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Dang.
And so we finally got to Spain. We were sleeping with this sister's home. It was really nice. Each of us had our own room.
That's beautiful.
I was like, that is, and then on the door they had our names with like the World Youth Day logo.
That's so sick.
And I was like, my name, that's me. It was really nice. It was a nice bed. We had our own bathroom. I was like, this is not what I was expecting to sleep on the floor. Like I brought my sleeping bag. Like I thought this was like a suffering pilgrimage.
Yeah,
you know,
you were gonna like sleep behind a tree or something like that.
I'm over here getting like first class treatment.
That's beautiful.
But it was like really nice. I was like, yeah. And then like Lucy was like, don't get used to this, guys. This isn't like where we're gonna be staying in Portugal. This is just like where we're like touring for now. So just so you know, it's gonna get tough later on. I was like, okay, I'll keep that in mind. No worries. And then we
did it get tough later on?
Oh, it definitely did.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, it got. Yeah.
Okay.
So we we woke up that next day, and we visited the church in Santiago de Compostela, and that's where Saint James was. So apparently Saint James translates to Santiago. I don't know how. Or in what I don't know. I thought James was Jaime in Spanish, but I guess they changed it to I don't know.
I Portuguese.
I guess, or like we were in Spain at that point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're in.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So it should have been the same thing.
It should have been. I don't know, but I guess
it should have been the same thing.
It should have been, but it was his feast day that day, so everyone was trying to get into the church.
Oh,
everyone and their mamas
must have been so fun.
It was, and what was nice was that the souvenir tents were just everywhere because of that special day, and that's where I saw the cool keychain.
Nice,
I was like,
because
inside because we actually had to wait in line, a long line that extended blocks and blocks just to get into the church. We weren't trying to celebrate Mass; we just wanted to see it because Mass line was unbelievable.
Yeah.
So we wanted to go. We wanted to go see it. That what is it called? The keychain that.
Yeah, I don't even know what it's called.
It's
audience. If you guys have it, please put it in the comments on the Spotify episode, so that way we're able to know. It's the thing that they use to disperse incense.
Disperse incense. So
like during adoration or during mass or things like that. I don't know what it's called, dude.
I forgot what it's called too. But that church had one. I want to say it was like 4 feet tall.
No way.
It's huge.
Dude.
It takes 4 men, and it's like the chain. It goes up to the ceiling.
Like the actual thing.
And and the crazy part is that the thing swings from the front of the church to the back in a big swoop.
That's so cool.
It is massive. The whole it swings across the whole church. It takes 4 guys to like pull the crank.
That's so sick.
It is insane. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see it in use, but we just saw it there like just dangling, and we're like, it's right there, guys. Look, it's right there.
That's
right there.
so cool.
It is awesome. I was just like, I've seen videos because as soon as we like saw it, they're like, oh, this is how it looks like when it's in use, and it's just a big old massive like wrecking ball going like
that's amazing. Yeah, don't go to the bathroom during mass.
Don't be getting up. Don't
yeah,
be going in the hallway.
You about to get hit with the Holy Spirit right there. Goodness.
There has to be a video of someone getting like
100%. There has to be.
I'm waiting for it, dude. Like just a bunch of smoke, just boom. Taco Bell like little ding, yeah, you know. Yeah. But yeah, and then in there was also the tomb of Saint James.
Whoa.
And so people were going there to go see it, and there was like a no cameras. It's like underneath. I think it's so. There's the altar, and then there's like a higher place where there's a statue of Saint James.
Okay.
So what you do is you get in line, you go into this place where there's no cameras, no photography, nothing.
Wow. Why do they do that?
I don't know. I guess it's just because out of reverence. Out of reverence.
I guess that's why we also don't have like phones during like Eucharistic adoration or during mass or things like that. Okay.
Yeah. So we go in and it's right there. Like they barred it, so you can't like actually touch the tomb, and the tomb was like a good like 5 feet away from us.
Okay.
So
that makes sense. Though.
Yeah. Because you know, and then all the pilgrims were able to fit inside. We just had like a little. We knelt down, did a little quick prayer because the line's moving. You know, they don't want us to hold him back. And I think I saw Brother Victor extending like a rosary, and I was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Dude, I'm getting my relics, bro." I was like,
"Can you do that?"
I asked him like, "Wait, does it have to touch the item?" He was like, "Well, I mean, that's as close as I can get it, and I think it still counts." And I was like, why did you tell me, bro? I was like, he's like, yeah, I have, and he was like listing all the saints he has. Like, oh yeah, I have John Paul II. I have this guy. I have.
Boy has JP too.
Yes, yeah, he has JP too.
That's insane,
dude. I was like, there's no way. He's like, yeah, I have a whole like list of like all those saints. I have like relics of with this one rosary. I was like,
that's a good rosary right there.
Yeah, it really is. Like, dude, if it wasn't blessed, he'd probably.
Dude.
Now, yeah, if we sold relics, but we don't do that. Don't be selling relics, guys. And then after that, we go up these little stairs, and you go to the statue that's all the way at the top.
Okay.
Of St. James, and people go up there and they give him a hug. And it's so sweet. Like you just
wholesome.
Give it a nice hug, and then you just go down. And it was cute because like sister was like in front of me, and she was just like she was going a little too long.
Sister Jessica go with you?
Sister Jessica was there, yeah.
That's so sick.
So she was giving him a hug, and then there's a lady there who's like, I guess one of the people that are in charge of the whole line stuff was like, all right, that's enough. You gotta keep the line moving. She's like, oh, sorry.
Too into me.
It's too much. Like, and then I went, and then we're all out of the church at that point.
Yeah. And
we were just like, dude, that was awesome. It was the church alone was just so beautiful.
Man.
I think if I'm not mistaken, that's a church that had like on the opposite walls had organs facing each other.
What?
If I'm not mistaken, I do remember there being a church. I think it was that one.
It was just sick.
So beautiful. It had like this, like to define it in one word, it'd be just warmth, and not temperature wise. Just when you walk in, you feel like that warmth, that good warmth. You know, and it's just like a lot of like browns and yellows, and so like and it was so beautiful.
Goodness, dude, that sounds so sick.
I was so blessed to be able to visit that church because honestly, I was just really, it was amazing.
Yeah.
And then after that, that was pretty much our day for that day. And then we went back to the house or the place that we were staying.
Yeah.
Some people went to go to a concert. Me and the priest and brothers and Moses, we stayed to play card games and just chat with them and have a good time.
Nice.
With them. We didn't really care for the concert, I guess. We didn't know who was performing. We were just like, we'll just stay here.
Oh, a concert. Interesting. Okay, because I heard about a concert that was being put on by a priest at World Youth Day. And it was like, there was like a ton of controversy around it and stuff like that. Yeah, because apparently this guy's a DJ on his spare time.
Oh, the priest DJ. He was at World Youth Day. We saw him. Yeah.
Yeah. I there was a ton of controversy around that, I hear. Like, there was like some like demonic stuff apparently doing. Like, apparently like people were wearing like these like headbands that had like horns coming out of them, and like there was like these people who like this guy who had like a cross like inked on his face or whatever.
Wow. Okay.
And there was like symbols on his arms, and there was just like I don't know. I honestly don't know. There was people in like witches hats too and stuff like that.
Okay, it's weird because when I came back from World Youth Day,
Mm-hmm.
kind of skipping forward a little bit, I was hearing like a lot of like, oh yeah, did you guys see this? And I'm like, what are you talking about? I did not see that. Like, oh yeah, apparently there was this. One of the big ones was someone said like, oh, dude, like herd mass was great except for the fact that they put the Holy Eucharist into like Tupperware.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait,
what about that? Yeah.
No, okay, yeah. So I heard that. I didn't. From what I've seen, I didn't see any of that. What I saw was more like way more beautiful and reverent. So at Mass at World Youth Day in Portugal and Lisbon, during the Mass.
And I'm assuming everybody's there. Like there's not like separate like kind of masses going on.
No, it's just one Mass. All the countries are there
for
that one Mass.
Cool.
And when it's time for like to receive the Eucharist, there are these Eucharistic ministers. There's a ton of them, and they all had this appropriate like stainless steel container with the lid. So I was like,
nice.
Bonus points for you guys for having that lid there.
Yeah,
You never know. And then they had a volunteer companion with the white umbrella. So when it was time for to receive the Eucharist, all you would see emerging from the crowd is white umbrellas popping up, and that's where you know that Jesus was there.
Nice.
In those little stations, so you know where to
so
go.
Cool.
It was really cool. I thought it was like a beautiful, and it's funny because like it wasn't a line. It was we're all in crowds because it was so like a lot of people in one place. So the person, the Eucharistic minister, would just turn in a circle. It would basically, he would go like in a circle, giving like people all surrounded by him.
Whoa!
It was awesome. It was really beautiful.
That's awesome.
So like when they said when I heard Tupperware, I was like, I didn't see any of that. I just saw what I saw when I went to go receive. I didn't see them like put it because someone was saying it was like a Costco type Tupperware where they just put all of them in there and they just shipped it off.
Oh yeah, no. That was for like Eucharistic adoration or something like that.
Oh,
like during the night they would like put the host and stuff like that. Like that was essentially the tabernacle was in this like Costco type bin that was like that's a great type of bin. I thought you were talking about like with the communion ministers, them themselves would have like a plastic bowl that was lined with saran wrap or whatever.
Oh wow, no.
I also heard that on a podcast, and then I heard another thing where like it was like trending on Twitter for a while. It was these three kids who were kneeling before the Holy Eucharist, but the Holy Eucharist was put away. But not in a tabernacle. It was three boxes that were stacked on top of each other, and that were holding the Holy Eucharist inside of them. Yeah, I don't know if you saw anything.
I haven't seen any. Honestly, I want to look it up because I didn't see any of that.
Okay.
So I'm like, I really want to see what people were seeing. Maybe it was like people in the very, very front that got to see that because we're all the way in the back. We did not. We weren't able to save space. So we're like we had to look at a screen. Not necessarily the altar. We were really far from the altar.
Gotcha.
But so yeah, we just saw what the cameras were showing.
Yeah.
And what else was I say? Okay, so that was Spain. After Spain, we went to Portugal, and it was this thing called Day of the Diocese, where a group of people just take you in, they host you, and you just have fun activities pretty much every day.
Nice.
It was like a week-long retreat to me. It was so much fun.
That's
the
awesome.
Kids were like the retreats here at TLB, 13, 14,
Really?
15. They were young.
Whoa.
And I was like, oh, dang, these guys are taking care of us, like us adults, everyone's
Yeah.
like 18 and over. It was so much fun. We were at this place called Villa de Saves.
Okay.
And it was a nice little town. And it was, the kids there were high energy. They were very fun. We played that game where like you have a dodgeball and you write questions on it. And you toss it wherever your right thumb lands on.
Yeah.
You have to answer it. It was really fun. So one of the questions was like, if you've ever lied, do a little dance. So it wasn't a question. You just like, you start the jiving, and it was really cool. They fed us really good Portuguese food, like foods that I've never even heard of. One guy just said like, oh yeah, today we're having this sandwich coated with sauce with fries around it. I was like, wait, what? It's like, yeah, it's a bunch of layers of meat, cheese, and bread, and then it's just like with some
that
like,
sounds
sauce.
amazing.
I was like, dude, I'll eat. I told them I'll eat anything.
Yeah, like bring it on.
Yeah, it was cool because I was like, as soon as I met them, I just fell in love with them. They're like, dude, we were like talking constantly.
I
talked to I made a friend with a guy named Tomas, Vasco, Leonor. I think her name was Andrea, I want to say, but they were all like really cool people, and I was just curious. I was like, okay, tell me what you guys eat here, because like I want to compare it. And we were just talking about different foods, and they're like, what do you eat? And like, we eat like tacos. You guys heard of tacos? I'm like, yeah. I was like, okay, have you guys had tacos de cabeza? And because Portuguese and Spanish is really similar, so they're like, that's not like, yeah, like that's not like the cow head, is it? I'm like, no, yeah, it is. And like, what about tripas and like lengua? And they're like, lengua? are you saying what I think? I'm like, yeah. It's like, they were like, no, that's gross. Like, very similar.
It's like, nah, bro, it's fire.
Like, bro, you haven't even tried it. Shut up.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even know what you're talking about.
Come to the U.S. We'll show you a good time.
We'll show you the ropes. Like, please. It was funny because it was like me and a bunch of like I'm in a circle, like just like hearing me talking about food.
Yeah.
It was awesome. And it was just so funny just learning from them and hearing, like, talking to them.
Yeah.
And it was a really good 6 days. We the guys slept at a school. The girls had host families, which were like these people that lived in the town who knew about the World Youth Day, and they're like offered their homes for the pilgrims.
Yeah.
So we would have like 2 girls go to each of the hosting families.
Okay. Cool.
And some of them slept at I think a nearby convent, or it was a church. That's where like sister and the the fathers and brothers, like brother Jose and brother Victor. That's where they slept.
Oh, cool.
So it was really cool. Like, okay, that's awesome. And every morning we'd just rendezvous for breakfast, and we got some really cool breakfast. They do not put their milk in the fridge whatsoever.
What?
It's every time we woke up, it was always like warm, and we're like, interesting. We grew accustomed to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like ice and drinks isn't necessarily like a real
How about when you
common
came
thing.
back home and you actually had cold milk?
Dude, I was like, cold milk, give me it. I need it. Like, honestly. They had some really interesting pastries too. Like, they had this thing called nata, which was like this little bread pastry with some kind of I don't know what it was. It was some kind of cream. We had this day where we went to like a park, and they had like different like little tents up. And they gave us passports. It was a little booklet with like numbers on it. Each number was a food.
What?
And the whole goal was like, you have to get stamped your whole entire passport. You have to go to the station, try something, and then you get a stamp.
That's so sick.
They had that for food. They had that for like activities, and one of them was for wine, because over there they have a really famous like port wine. I think
interesting.
And it's funny because like
you had to be like a 21 and oh no, but the
drinking age is different. It was a little shot glass of wine, so the adults the adults could have it. The kids were like exempt from it actually.
Okay, yeah. So I wonder like what the drinking age is.
But no, over there
they
drink pretty young. Like, it's common over there in Europe. It was okay.
Keep going. I'm gonna look up what the drinking
go ahead
age
look for it, because I laugh because smoking is really like cigarettes, not vaping. Like, cigarettes was a big thing over there.
It's 18.
Is 18?
Yeah,
okay,
it's 18.
yeah.
Cool.
Because like it was funny because we'd see like straight up kids smoking.
Interesting.
And I was like, this.
It seems a little funny.
It is. So let me tell you, like, the funniest thing, because like my favorite day over there was when we went to this. What was it? We went to something before we went to this, but it was basically a party. It was a huge like a dance party.
Okay.
And they had DJs. They had food trucks. We saw hamburgers. All of us from the U.S. just went over there.
Nice.
Like, let's go. Let's see what it's like.
Let's see what's all this about.
It was good stuff, man. It was good stuff. Yes, I liked it a lot. And so the DJ was pumping up, and like they were playing like music in like Portuguese music. So we're like, okay, we don't really know these. And then yeah, I guess. And then like I was with my friend. I was with everyone, but I made friends with a guy from Granite Bay named Zach.
Nice.
Zach's a funny, like, really tall white guy, and he was like, bro, this party's like looking kind of lame, bro. You know what? I'm like, they're just not playing the good songs, bro. Like, once they put on Dancing Queen by ABBA, that's when it's gonna get lit, you know? He's like, dude, like, honestly, like, anything, like, come on, where's the good stuff, you know? Like, where's Queen? Where's, like, you know?
Yeah.
So we're just waiting in line to get our burgers. And then, out of nowhere, the DJ plays "City Can't Hold Us" by Macklemore.
No
and we're
way.
like, we look at each other like, dude, this is it. He's like, bro, we gotta go dance. We gotta show them like this is our music, bro.
We gotta represent the U.S.
We gotta represent the U.S. So I'm like, dude, I'm down if you are. He's like, all right, let's go. So we left the line. We ran to a dance floor, and we're just jumping like a bunch of bubbling idiots. Like, yeah, the City Can't. And everyone's looking at us like, huh?
Dude.
The dance floor there was people there.
Yeah.
There was kids there, but they were just like in their groups just talking. And I'm like, I was looking at Zach like, dude, what's going on? He's like, bro, why is all the kids just here smoking cigarettes? Like, what's going on? It was like so awkward. Like, this bumping music was going, and everyone just standing there looking at us, going, like, taking like smoking their cigarettes. We're like, what? Like, a few people looked at us and they're like, yeah, you guys are awesome. Like, there's like this group of girls who are like,
go America.
Yeah. Everybody like pumping their fists in the air.
Yeah.
We're just like, yeah. But no one else was dancing. Like, no one was like, guys, they're dancing, let's dance. No one wanted to like chime in on that.
No way.
So we're like, we looked at each other and we just like stopped like jumping. We're like, dude, like, let's get out of here.
Let's get our burgers, bro.
Let's go get our burgers. So we went away defeated. And we were just like, dude, that was so lame. Like that was whack.
Yeah.
So we just ate our food, and then it got real quiet. And we're like, okay, I guess the DJ's taking a break, right?
Yeah.
But then you heard people singing.
What?
So we were like, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh, yes, they're having the silent disco. And I was like,
that's a thing?
yeah, I was like, wait, what? Really? It's like, yeah. So you go in there, you get everyone's wearing headphones in there.
Yeah. Okay. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So I was like, oh, wait, I've heard of that before. And so wait, I'd never been to one though. So I was like, it's interesting. I want to try it out. So we just finished our food real quick, and then me and Zach back over there with more people this time.
Mm-hmm.
And we just put on our headphones, and it was just two channels. There was two DJs up on the stage, and they were both like on a separate channel. So you click the button, you'd be on the blue channel listening to a DJ that's blue, and if the song wasn't fitting your vibe, you just change the channel to the green DJ, and you listen to the green DJ's songs. So like throughout the night, we're like, Zach, go to blue. He's like, yeah. We would just change it up every now and then.
That's amazing.
You would go to like your friends and be like, yo, go change the channel, and then you see their expression going like, yeah. Everyone we eventually most of the pilgrims were like on the dance floor just like having a great time.
That's amazing.
They played like a bunch of songs. They played a bunch of English songs too.
Dude, that's amazing. That's
dude,
awesome.
I was like, dude, this is so awesome. And then like DJ would do shout outs, and then they would say like, a ver, todos que quieren ver la papa hacen ruido, and everyone like a lot of people were like shouting like, yeah, like all the pilgrims wanted to see the Pope. And then people brought out their flags. Italy brought out their flags because
no way.
A common thing for World Youth Day is you take a big flag, like a 3x5 foot flag.
Okay, yeah.
We brought our American flags. We had to.
Obviously.
No one brought a California flag because
yeah, obviously.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Yeah,
but
makes sense.
We all brought our USA flags, and we just wore them as capes. And we were just like, yeah.
That's so awesome.
It was so much fun. And then in the middle of the night, we're just dancing and vibing, and I hear Dancing Queen by ABBA go on. I was like, Zach! And he looked at me, he was like, what? I was like, change the channel! He changed it, he's like, he goes on his knees, and he like raises his hands up like, bro!
Yes, that sounds so fun.
And the DJs would do this cool thing where like in the middle of this, like once it goes like the main chorus or like the main like sound bites of the song, they would kill the sound. So all you hear is the people in the whole dance floor singing.
Yes.
So, like, they cut it off, and you all hear was, having the time of our life. Dude, it was beautiful.
That's
it was
awesome.
I recorded so much. I was like, dude, this is just epic. Everyone's having like a really fun. It was honestly the best.
I imagine your voice must have been dead.
Oh, dude, the next day I was like, hello guys. I could not speak.
That's dude.
No regrets were left on that dance floor whatsoever.
Dude, it sounds like no regrets were left on your World Youth Day. Period, man.
No, period. That was just like one of the nights during the days of the diocese. It was so fun, and on a ride home, I was like, "Yo, Zach, like you're a party animal, dude. You must like go to like all the dances." The problem is like, dude, that's the first time I ever danced.
What?
I was like, shut up. I was like, bro, it is so fun. I definitely not the last, like for sure, promise you. Like cross my heart, not gonna be the last time. I was like, dude, that is so awesome. It was honestly such.
That makes me want. That makes me want to go to the next World Youth Day, especially because it's South Korea, right?
South Korea is gonna have it, dude.
That's gonna be lit.
It's gonna be epic. Everyone and their moms are gonna want to go to that one, dude.
Oh yeah, dude, that one's gonna be packed.
It's gonna be, dude. It might even go past like what we had at Portugal.
Oh, dude, 100%. There's no way, dude. The culture in South Korea, like everybody's gonna want to go.
Everyone and their moms is gonna want to go, dude. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And then, so Day of the Diocese was just awesome. I love the people there.
Yeah.
I got a lot of their Instagram, so we keep in touch.
That's awesome.
They got my boy Vasco sends me like memes, and it's just really funny. I talked to Leonore, and she's like telling me like how she wants to travel to and visit all these places. And they're just really, really nice people. I took a lot of pictures. I'm never gonna forget them. They were like essentially our introduction to Portugal.
That's amazing.
They're like the first people we met. Very nice, very sweet, good in their faith.
Yeah.
Amazing people, dude.
Yeah.
Definitely. Honestly loved them.
I know that when we served like retreats before, you've always had that moment where it's just like Christ is here, like God is like truly present. What was that moment for you like at World Youth Day? Because I imagine there was like a bunch, but like one of like the most like powerful moments where you're just like God is here.
It was definitely very scary. One of the biggest ones was in Fatima, dude.
Okay.
So the Fatima, we had mass at the location of the apparition. There was like a beautiful like altar, little open space, essentially pretty much no walls, just pillars, so like people can just walk in there and just join mass. It was
I thought if I'm remembering correctly, you guys sang the Our Father or something like that, right?
Saying the Our Father, I don't remember singing it. I think we might have, but that mass itself was polylingual. It was in 4 languages.
Oh wow!
So it was like everyone would understand it.
Yeah.
And everyone took turns to say the prayers. It was beautiful.
That's amazing.
And the coolest thing is that while you're doing that, there's like a path around the I wouldn't even call it a church. It was like a open chapel, pretty much.
Yeah.
And there would be people on their knees praying and doing this like little mini pilgrimage, and the path went pretty long. Like you'd see people in the distance coming, and then you see people a little closer. And I guess it's like I don't know what it is. I didn't really get too much details or ask too many questions, but I was like, I was just told that they were praying because you would see them like visibly praying, like they'd be with their family members on their knees. I was like,
and those are all Catholics, dude.
Those are all Catholics.
Dude, that's beautiful.
Dude, devoted to their faith, praying, and that's probably the thing, because like everywhere I look, like 360, I'd see a Catholic, someone that wanted to be there and like is looking to have a good experience with and good communion with Christ. Yeah. And it's just beautiful. Yeah, I saw that a lot, and in Fatima was really noticeable during that mass.
Hold on, one more.
No, you're
sorry,
good.
My bad.
You're good, man. You're good. And
dude. So Fatima.
Yeah, Fatima was definitely like one of the best like key moments for World Youth Day for me.
That's beautiful, dude. Mm-hmm. That is so sick. Man.
Yeah.
Wow. I can't. Now I'm like I really wish that I had like gone to World Youth Day, even though yes, I actually if my trip to Nebraska hadn't directly overlapped with World Youth Day, I would have definitely gone. Like, no doubt in my mind, I would have wanted to go. That sounds so fun. Like, it sounds so fun. It sounds like, I don't know. Let me ask you a question. How did your relationship with Christ actually, not evolve, sorry, wrong word. How did your relationship with Christ grow, like, over time, like, as you were attending World Youth Day? Like, what was, like, kind of, like, these, like, big aha moments, or, like, how did it kind of grow?
It grew because one of the cool things that we got with, because they gave us a bunch of stuff. They gave us, like, a backpack. They gave us supplies. The coolest thing I have in my room right now, on my nightstand, is a special World Youth Day Magnificat.
No
with
way.
Special artwork of Lisbon.
What?
The masses for every day of World Youth Day.
That's so sick.
I loved it. And it had like extra things. Like on the back page, it had like translations for like common phrases, like good morning, how to say bon dia in Portugal. Like it was loaded with like just World Youth Day things.
Yeah.
And it was also Magnificat. So I loved being able to like do the prayers with like the group. We did like I forgot what they call it. I think it's called Vespers and Lauds, morning and evening prayer.
Okay, yeah.
And then we'd also like have mass, and we'd read it with
yeah. Do you mind bringing the mic a little closer to you?
Oh yeah, sure thing.
Yeah, my bad. Just
so it was nice having that, and just mass over there. Like we would have it daily. Before we were in Lisbon, we'd have it daily, and I just loved having that. Like it made me want to do daily mass here.
Yeah,
because I just having that as the start of your day. Because we would do it in the mornings, the mass in the mornings. It was just really, really nice, and I was really happy that we had the opportunity to do that.
Yeah,
and I feel like that really helped grow my how do you word it? Like grow my communion with God, I guess.
Yeah, like your relationship with God.
It really strengthened my communion with God.
That's beautiful.
With those things, and then seeing all those different churches too, just like it's just art, dude. I just love it. Man. Like the art.
Because I mean, Portugal is definitely like a country that has been like rooted in Catholicism for a long time and like rooted in that kind of like stuff. So I can imagine like just the amount of like just artwork and reverence in those churches is just incredible, like breathtaking.
It was, and one of the most notable churches that we saw in Portugal was a church that was. It was in Portugal, but I don't know if they had a relic of. Well, I don't know if it's called a relic, but. It's of Blessed Carlos Acutis.
Oh, yes, dude.
You know him,
yes.
So you know his story. Yeah, a lot of info about him on the walls, his picture with the relic, because he's a blessed right now. He hasn't been canonized as a saint.
The only thing is they're waiting for another miracle, I think.
I think that's literally all they're waiting for. So everyone's there. They had like these cute little like business cards, but they had like a candle on one side, and on the other side you write your prayer.
What?
And you put them in this basket, and all the intentions would be prayed for at a special mass in the evening, I believe it was.
Wow, that's awesome.
It was really lovely. Because I've heard a story like way back when. I think it was in high school when I heard his story. Mm-hmm. So seeing him again, I was like, young man, dedicated like his life to his faith and everything. It's just like it made me want to be him. You know, I feel like that's what learning about all of these saints is like. It's like motivation. Like he had Christ at the center, I want to do the same.
Yeah.
I really want to like, have that as well and just live a really happy, holy life,
If he gets canonized, he'd be one of the most like modern saints now, right?
Yeah, because I think when he was around, he had like game consoles and everything.
Oh yeah, like
yeah,
like a PS, like I think he had a PlayStation.
Yeah, he had a PlayStation and so he'd be like one of the most like modern saints. Yeah.
Dude,
so,
that's freaking awesome. That is so sick.
Yeah, so I was so happy to see that and be there, and it was just honestly a really lovely experience seeing all those different churches and just everywhere we go we'd see pilgrims. It's funny because like in the world like back home you don't know who's Catholic. You just walk around and you just see people and like maybe they do believe in God, maybe they don't.
Yeah,
maybe if they heard you talk about God, they'd hate you. Maybe they would be okay with it. Maybe they'd join you. Over there, it was obvious who was Catholic.
Yeah,
you
just like pass somebody like wearing a rosary.
Yeah,
like you know the vibe.
Wearing a rosary, wearing a colored shirt, because the logo. Almost every pilgrim had like a T-shirt with the logo on it.
Yeah.
So you like Catholic.
Yeah, you just kind of give them a snap.
Yeah, like hey, and that's funny because that's what you would do. You would walk by people and you like first question like, where are you guys from? And we would be like USA, California. They're like, oh, California,
Yeah.
We're from in California, and I'd be like, they're like, where is that? So I'm like, no one's gonna know. Like no one's gonna know. We're from Hollywood. Oh yeah, we know Hollywood. Sort of like had to lie to them so they know like okay, no. But we would try to tell them like, oh yeah, it's a small town. The cool thing about us that we're so like that's us. That's where we are. And they're like, oh, that's really cool. That's interesting. They never heard of us, but they thought it was interesting at least. You know,
it's just like hey,
yeah,
we exist.
Don't Google us. You're not gonna find us either.
Yeah,
kind of thing. Yeah. But we saw people from Spain, from Singapore, from Philippines.
No way.
I made a friend from Canada.
What?
She's from Manitoba, Canada. I met her at the place where we're staying in Portugal after Day of the Diocese. We were like in another school.
Yeah.
And she gave me like a Canadian pin. I gave her an American flag pin.
Yeah.
I traded my San Jose hat with the U.S. flag for like a Singapore World Youth Day hat.
Nice.
It was a lot of people brought things to trade, and it was so cool.
Singapore is in China? Question mark? No.
Don't you're asking the wrong guy. Geographically, what? I don't know. I don't know, dude.
I'm gonna look it up.
If you told me to point to Portugal on the map, I probably wouldn't even be able to tell you, dude.
Singapore. It's somewhere in Asia. Country in Asia. I don't think. All right. I guess it's just a place. Yeah. I guess it. Yeah. I guess that's just a country. All right. I thought it was like a specific place in like China or something like that because I was like, hasn't China like banned Christianity or something like that?
Yeah, and like a lot of places too, right? Like hearing that there was someone from every country, I was like, how did you survive?
Like, how you get here?
How'd you get here? Like, did they check your like stuff in the airport and it's like, is this a rosary? Really, dude? Get out of here. Like, it was?
Yeah, dude.
I got really excited because I was like looking for this flag everywhere, and I was like, I need to find him. As soon as we got to like where we were staying for like the final mass with the Pope, I finally saw the Wales flag, and I was like, there it is! There's the Wales flag. Everyone was like, why do you care about that? I'm like, dude, look at it. It has a red dragon on it. Are you kidding me? It's the coolest flag, hands down. Doesn't compare with anything else.
Oh
like,
yeah, Sharp is from Wales.
Exactly. I was like, dude, I asked Sharp on his Discord, like, hey bro, where are you from? So if I talk to someone from Wales, I can be like, yeah, I have a friend from so and so, and he didn't respond. So I was like, okay, I'll just tell him, hey, I have a friend from Wales. You know, I wanted to trade an American flag that I had for a Wales flag just because I just want a Wales flag so bad. Yeah. I don't want to buy it because that's lame. I'd rather trade it. Yeah. So, but I didn't get the chance to talk to them because we're in different sectors.
Okay.
It's all like pre-organized and.
Just to minimize like the amount of like Yeah,
absolutely. And then the World Youth Day, amazing. Our time with the Pope even cooler because every time he spoke, like to give like a homily or something, it was in Spanish. So I was like, I know what he's saying.
I can understand.
Yeah, I can understand you because like I think other posts they just spoken like in Italian or So like him speak, I believe he's from Argentina.
Yeah.
So like
he's Argentinian.
He spoke in Spanish, so I was like, I understand what you're saying.
I know what you mean.
Like, I'm gonna listen, and I don't have to wait for because everyone. Sadly, I mean. Like not everyone's gonna be able to understand, and they'll have to find other means. Like there was radios of people translating. You just tune into the station, and you understand them. We had people with us as well who didn't speak Spanish, so we would like people would try their best to like translate for them. Like, oh, he's saying this and that. They'd have the radios and everything.
Yeah.
But I was like, he's talking to me right now, and I can like hear his words, and it was really good stuff. Like he was just saying like, hey, like you guys are all here, and you're gonna go back eventually, but just remember to just be not afraid. Mm-hmm. God's always going to be with you. And just a lot of like beautiful like like we're all created, like it was pretty much like basically TLB stuff. Like we're all created in His image, and like we're all called to love and spread that love. Everyone's like deserving of His love, essentially. And it was just really good stuff. Like I already can't even retain most of it, but I'm definitely gonna be looking back at videos just to hear it over and over again, because I don't remember the words, but I remember the feeling that I felt when I was hearing that. It was just like, dude, that's incredible stuff. Dude, if anyone has a chance to go to World Youth Day, anyone of you guys listening who are interested, dude, I highly recommend it. Especially the next one in, I think it's 2027?
2027, yeah.
2027, South Korea World Youth Day, dude.
They do it every 4 years then, right?
Every 3 to 4 years is when they do it.
Gotcha. Cool.
But yeah.
Okay, so the whole blessing thing, because I know that Moses came back and he was like, "This is blessed by the Pope. This is blessed by the Pope. This is blessed by the," and this little keychain right here that you gave me was also blessed by the Pope. How did that work? So
basically, at the last mass, he does his final blessing. Everyone brings all the religious items that they want to be blessed by the Pope, and they kind of just hold on to it or they lift it up. I just had it held on. I had everything that people gave me from different countries, like little bracelets that they made, rosary, prayer cards. I had them all in this little backpack that I took with me, and I just had it with me. And all those things, that everything that you had, basically, he blessed at the end of that mass. Yeah,
that is amazing.
So I was like, I can't wait to give this to my family. I had like rosaries from Fatima. I had things people gave me at Villas de Saves.
Jeez.
I was like, I have all these things to like give as gifts to people. Like, hey, this is blessed by the Pope.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much how it worked out.
Man, that's amazing, dude. That's truly incredible, dude. Oh my god.
And the mass, oh my, dude, the music.
Yeah.
I was telling my girlfriend, like, dude, it's like a Nintendo orchestra met a Disney orchestra, and they collabed to make the songs for the mass.
Wow.
There was orchestras there. There was big choirs there. It sounded majestic, and I was like, dude, this is so beautiful. I want to go back to the video and listen to like the different songs that they've sung. Yeah, like the Gloria and the I forgot what the other ones, but a lot of the music was just
What are your thoughts on that? Because I know that a lot of people were like, I'd rather have like Gregorian chants, or I'd rather
traditional stuff.
Yeah, like traditional stuff.
I appreciate it. As a band kid, I appreciate it a lot.
That's what
I was like the crescendo and the
everybody's
chorus.
Just like it all goes into place. Yeah,
I liked the way it was composed. Was beautiful. Yeah, like alone in the context of like traditionalists and like tradition and music wise in the church. I know it's a little bit more of a modern take with like the original hymns, but I still liked it. I still like Gregorian chants. Yeah. I'm not gonna say one's better than the other. If someone asked me like, "What'd you like more, or traditional stuff or that new stuff that you heard over there?" What do you think? I'm gonna say that they were both equally. They were both good in their own way.
Yeah, because I think the reason behind it is they both have reverence, right? I mean, they both have a sense of reverence behind them. It's just that it's just in a different form. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, and then the people at World Youth Day, I think it was the last mass when they announced it. They said that the orchestra and the choir were practicing for an entire year leading up to World Youth Day. I was like, what? Hold on.
I was doing fruit sales.
I was selling snow cones while these guys were practicing their craft. Like, oh my, dude.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I was like, dude, that is like the amount of details that go into World Youth Day is amazing, dude.
Wow.
It's really incredible.
That's beautiful, dude. That's truly beautiful.
So like I encourage like anyone just to go, like have your own experience there. Try not to like because things go south with any kind of like voyage somewhere else. You know, things don't always going to go as planned because you're not the one always in control. You know, it's the people in charge, and that's okay as long as you don't linger on that. Like, oh, we could have done this and that. Because I personally was experiencing a lot of that too on this trip. I was like, okay, we could have done this better. If we did this thing this way, it would have been a lot nicer. If you do all of those things, you're just gonna have a negative experience. And and sometimes some things were kind of too big for me to ignore. Yeah. And I did have like negative like thoughts about certain aspects of the trip, but I just tried to just focus on what the positives were, like the homilies, the masses, whatever, anything that I felt God wanted me to hear at that moment and experience. That's what I took in.
Overall, you focused on God, not on the people. Yeah. No, that definitely makes sense. I mean, I can't imagine that you would want to do it any other way. You know what I mean? Yeah, are you gonna be going to the next World Youth Day? Do you think?
Don't know. It's up to Lucy. She's the one that chooses her people, her pilgrims.
Oh, she specifically chooses them.
I believe. I think it's. I don't know. I don't know if she will the next one. I don't know if this was her last one. I'm not sure about that. It might be Father Stephen if he's still doing it. If not, maybe Father Sergio. we'll see once it comes closer, I guess. But
okay.
If I could go by myself,
you can go by yourself to World Youth Day.
I believe so. I think all you have to do is just register online. I don't know if you have to register with the parish, and if so, I can just ask like, hey, can I come with? I'll do my own things and stuff like that.
Gotcha, because I can imagine that like it would take church funds and stuff like that, and then you send people to go and stuff like that.
Assuming so, yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
I'll probably do more research on that just to see, because I would like to go to South Korea for World Youth Day. See how
that'd be sick.
That would be fire, dude.
Yeah,
dude. That'd be straight up gas.
Yeah, there's this one girl who goes to TOB. I'm not gonna name call her, but she was saying how she was gonna go to World Youth Day in South Korea, and she was telling your parents that. Because she's like so involved and she's like so like she's so obsessed with like Korea and like just like Korean culture and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And she's like, if I go and I come back with a ring on my finger, I'm not apologizing. And her parents are like freaking out about it.
What?
Like that.
Yo, chill.
I was just like, huh?
Excuse me.
Yeah, bro. That was funny, but. Yeah, dude. Overall, I mean, it just sounds like World Youth Day was such an amazing experience overall.
Oh, definitely.
Like, wow, dude. Thanks be to God that like things that are taking place within the church.
Thanks be to God that we came here safe and sound. Because
how did you feel when you like got finally on like soil back in the U.S. and you like finally got back home and like you were greeted by the people you love and care about? And
it was nice because at the airport, some of the parents surprised us and they showed up and with like the signs and stuff.
Nice.
Moses' mom was wearing a T-Rex inflatable suit.
Nice.
And I was like, what is this? There's no way. This is so American of us. How can we just kidding? No, it was so funny. It was like, oh my gosh, they came like everyone was hugging each other.
Yeah.
It was nice. Yeah. And it was just like, I'm back. This is I'm back home basically.
How did you feel like laying in your bed?
Dude.
Like, because I know for me, dude,
it was
I slept for like 10 hours.
It was,
and I only went to like another state. You went to another country.
Dude, it was heavenly, dude. Because the night before, I was on straight up rocks.
Whoa!
I was on like straight up dirt. Like where we were staying that last final night. If it is, yeah, it was. It was just where we were having the final mass. It was just pure dirt, and we all had to lay out like our sleeping bags and everything on that, and we were all like bunched up together because we were like on these pretty much. Like squared off lots, and we're all just like sleeping in our own little space all together. All the pilgrims from like California together, and
I assume it must have been like really like close together and packed.
Oh yeah, we managed.
Okay.
I was comfy because I brought like an inflatable little tiny mattress.
Gotcha.
Probably the size of this table, if not.
Yeah, no, yeah. I saw it at the retreat.
Yeah, I took that guy, so I slept like a baby. I was happy.
Yeah,
I might have snored a bit though, but that's for everyone else to deal with.
Yeah, not for me.
Not for me. I'm good.
Yeah. Dude, that's awesome. That's truly amazing, dude.
Yeah.
All right. Wow. Well, dude, we've been going on for quite a bit.
This is a longy boy.
Yeah, no, definitely. So we just want to thank you guys for listening in and for tuning in to the Aftermath pod. We didn't even do the intro.
We did not do the intro. We just drove you guys right to it. I mean.
Wow, dude. All right, cool. Welcome and goodbye to the Aftermath podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've been your host, Christian.
And I'm your other host, Christian.
And we'll go ahead and see you guys next Sunday. God bless. Go to the next World Youth Day if you have the opportunity to. Yeah, dude. Stay holy, stay blessed. Pray for us, and we'll pray for you. Thank you.
Absolutely. God bless.
God bless. See ya.